Have you ever wondered what magical transformation turns a tiny, hard kernel into a fluffy, delicious piece of popcorn? It's not magic, it's pure science. And it's absolutely fascinating. Let's dive into the explosive secret of popcorn. First, not just any corn can be popcorn. The star of the show is a special variety called Zea maize everta. What makes it so special? It has a unique combination of three key ingredients: a Supardo moisture-sealed shell called the pericarp, a dense, starchy interior called the endosperm, and a tiny bit of water trapped inside. This trio is the perfect recipe for an explosion. Imagine each kernel as a miniature pressure cooker. When you heat it up, that small amount of water inside, which is about 14% of the kernel's weight, starts to turn into steam. As we know, when water turns to steam, it expands dramatically. But the pericarp, that tough outer shell, is incredibly strong and doesn't let the steam escape easily. So, the pressure starts building up, and up, and up. The temperature inside the kernel skyrockets to around 180 degrees Celsius, or 355 degrees Fahrenheit. The pressure inside can reach over 9 times the normal atmospheric pressure at sea level. That's some serious pressure. While the pressure is building, something else is happening to the starch inside, the endosperm. This starch is normally hard and crystalline, but under the intense heat and pressure, it starts to soften and gelatinize, turning into a sort of superheated gooey substance. Think of it like a molten, starchy goo, just waiting for its moment to break free. Now for the grand finale. The pericarp can only take so much. At a critical point, the shell can no longer contain the immense pressure from the steam. It ruptures. Suddenly, all that pent-up pressure is released in a fraction of a second. This sudden drop in pressure causes the steam inside to expand instantly and violently. As it expands, it carries that hot gelatinized starch with it. The starch rapidly inflates and cools, turning from a dense goo into a delicate, airy foam. This foam is what we know and love as the white, fluffy part of the popcorn. It's an incredibly fast process. The whole pop, from the shell breaking to the fluffy flake forming, happens in just a few milliseconds. The force of the explosion is so strong that it often launches the kernel into the air with a distinct pop sound. That sound is literally the release of the pressurized steam, a tiny sonic boom. So, what determines the final shape of the popcorn? There are two main shapes you'll see: the snowflake or butterfly shape, and the mushroom shape. The snowflake shape is the irregular one with lots of wings, perfect for catching butter and salt. It's what you typically get in movie theaters. The mushroom shape is a more compact, ball-like shape. It's sturdier and less likely to break, which makes it ideal for candy coatings like caramel corn. The shape is largely determined by the genetics of the corn kernel and the rate at which it's heated. But what about those unpopped kernels at the bottom of the bowl? We call them old maids, and they're the party poopers of the popcorn world. This usually happens for one of two reasons. Either their shell was damaged, meaning it had a tiny crack that let the steam escape before enough pressure could build up, or they didn't have the right amount of moisture inside, either too little to create enough steam, or too much, which can lead to a less explosive pop. The ideal moisture content is that magic 14%. The history of popcorn is also pretty amazing. Archaeologists have found popcorn kernels in Peru that are over 6,700 years old. Ancient civilizations in the Americas not only ate popcorn, but also used it for decorations and in ceremonies. It's not just a modern snack. It's been a part of human culture for millennia. It became hugely popular in the United States in the mid-1800s and was a staple at circuses and fairs. The invention of the commercial popcorn machine by Charles Cretors in the 1890s made it accessible everywhere. And during the Great Depression, popcorn was one of the few affordable treats people could enjoy, which cemented its place as a beloved snack. When sugar was rationed during World War II, Americans ate 3 times as much popcorn as usual. So, how can you make the perfect popcorn at home? The key is even and rapid heating. A stovetop pot with a lid works great. Use an oil with a high smoke point, like coconut or canola oil. Put a few kernels in the oil first. When those pop, You know the oil is at the right temperature. Then, add the rest of your kernels in a single layer. Keep the pot moving by shaking it gently to ensure all the kernels get heated evenly and don't burn. Once the popping slows down to a few seconds between pops, take it off the heat. This prevents the popped ones from burning while you wait for the last few stragglers. There you have it. The next time you're settling in for a movie with a big bowl of popcorn, you can appreciate the incredible science that goes into each and every bite. It's a tiny, powerful explosion that turns a humble kernel into one of the world's favorite snacks. From a pressure cooker shell to a superheated starchy goo, it's a delicious feat of physics and chemistry. Thanks for watching and getting curious with me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of everyday things. See you next time.